Welcome to the Grit Talk Show, episode 19. And for those of you who do not know, we cover the journeys of different coaches and the particular niches that they're working in this series. And Grit is a learning and development platform which acts like a remote L&D for companies and connects coaches to clients as well. Today we have with us Nighat Haroon. She is a career coach, a therapist, and a trainer, and she uses NLP, emotional intelligence, and CBT in her practice. And we're all eager to learn more about what she has to share with us concerning what makes a relationship healthy. Especially, Nighat, please introduce yourself to our audience and share with us your niche that you particularly work with couples, and how does it work? What does make a healthy relationship between a significant other?
Okay, first of all, thank you very much, Khatija, for inviting me to your show. And thank you, The Grid, as well, for having such an amazing platform. I'm a relationship coach as well, which you forget you started with career coaching. So, yeah, I'm a career coach. I'm a relationship coach, and I'm working in Dubai. With that, I'm working online as well with a lot of clients. So nowadays, we are working specifically on some kind of specific cases. So where I have observed that people are going through in a lot of miserable situation because of Corona, number one. After that, the lifestyles which has changed nowadays, and especially everybody is living in that expensive lifestyle where two people needs to work. And in the end, the both feel that they are burnout. They just sometimes miss out that spark which was there once they met. And if you just go back there, once they met, they were in that college lifestyle or the university lifestyle, the responsibility was less. And suddenly, once they have started their own family and the house is there, the responsibility come up, the things are pretty much changed. People lack for quality of time. People lack for physical touch for each other. So most of the time when I do the love language test for the couples, so I have observed that people miss out the quality time. And that's one of the biggest numbers which I have observed in men and women nowadays. So this is the one thing which I can see, and I can just tell you with that, we live in that fantasy world once we meet, right? But after that, once the couples start living together, the things start fading off. The replace real love with the fantasy of being loved, and the people start having that conventional markers of relationship. It start fading up because the reality is far beyond the way we were living behind, right? And people start expressing themselves like, you are changed, you are not that person anymore. The way you used to love me, the way you used to give me the time, it's not there anymore. I feel that we are missing out that feature which was connecting us. So what's happening here? What's going on here? The same time, I have seen the people say that, oh, I'm now getting bored with her, or I'm getting bored with him. He's not bringing something fantasy in our lives. They like these kind of things. So you will be like, what's happening here? But reality is that they have stopped enjoying each other company. They have stopped taking each other the way they used to see each other. They have started taking them for granted now that, okay, now we are together, that's all. And then comes one other part that's like, I'm imposing my likes and dislikes on you rather than asking you what you want. And then suddenly it's like, I like to do this becomes we like to do that. And then the other person start feeling that I'm unheard, I'm neglected by other person, and the problem arose. The same thing, it
Yes,
comes
so
with yeah.
Nighat, especially because we are on a professional platform as well right now on LinkedIn, and we see that a lot of couples, as you said very rightly, due to the economic needs, both are working. So when both are ambitious and both are driven, it sometimes becomes a bit difficult for two strong-headed people to coexist. Does
Yeah.
it mean that one person will have to make a compromise more than the other, or is there a way to strike a balance? How does it work when you come across in your practice and both people are working? How do they strike a balance?
See, first, we need to understand before even getting married that what my other half looks like, what are his or her dreams. Okay, I've seen a lot of time that women come to me while we having a couple counseling session, that he commit that I can do my studies in future after getting married, and now he's just forcing me to have the family, and I'm just lost. I don't have a career. My studies were like in middle, and I got married, and I feel that's burning me out. And I feel I'm not worth anything anymore, right? So we need to make sure what exactly is coming in future, and commit the things which you can do it. Don't commit or don't overcommit to get someone in your life because you feel like this person will make your life full, because by some circumstances you are making them feel unworthy, and that unworthiness can bring her or him to the depression and anxiety as well, which in for long
Hmm.
term giving you problem as well. And once you have a children,
Yes, because
it's going like
resentment.
from family to
Yes.
family. Yeah. So these are the
Hmm.
one of the thing. The other part is this: make sure you discuss income, you discuss how, what are your future plans, you discuss what are the education plans you want to have in the future, discuss about what the marriages look like, discuss about what if
Hmm.
this relationship doesn't work and they need to end up in divorce or
Hmm.
something. These things should be something common now. People think like, oh, why I should talk about divorce in the beginning? But reality is this: if you know how the person perceive it, it will be
Hmm.
easy for you guys to understand that if the relationship is not working, you guys have one more way, that's to end up nicely, instead
Of
of
course.
making a big bad frame where you are blaming each other, where the families are taken
Hmm.
into a wrong picture. Why not to just make a really simple way and give time to each other?
Hmm.
A lot of the time people feel like, okay, just getting married is something you will create a connection. No, the connection and that comfort and then the communication take time, and you need to be either
Hmm.
having that kind of a patience, or either
Hmm.
you need to let it go. These are two things, there is nothing in the
Hmm.
middle.
Yes, so you're absolutely right, Nighat, that couples should have an aligned vision and shared goals. But what if, like we discussed this as well, that that sometimes they develop and evolve at different rates, and they have
Mm,
to make allowance for that particular thing. So when you feel that you want to be in this relationship, but you see that the other person, your other half, is drifting away, is
mm,
there a way to pull them back, or make a sort of situation
mhm.
which is sort of fading away, a way to revive that?
Okay, so once you said revive that, that means you want to regenerate some cells again in that love relationship. So most of the time, these situations come when the people start thinking about to separate their ways, or they are just thinking about to leave each other and those stuff. So most of the time we always prefer that either people go for the couple counseling to rethink what's happening and reflect back how a coach or how a counselor or how a therapist can help you out in such situation. Because sometimes we just see one thing which is in front of us, we don't know what are the left and rights, how it gonna be, what are the consequences. If I give you an example, like people comes to me for divorce planning as well, that I want to have a divorce, and living in UAE and having a divorce, it's a nightmare because it's way expensive than getting married. And then even it doesn't give you a guarantee that you got a divorce within a 3 months or 6 months, even if sometimes it takes 2 years as well. So you're hanging in the air, and the same time you have become a toxic person because you don't want to have that person around you. So some people even come back to me regretting that we got a divorce, and I think I took a really rapid decision, and I feel that this was not that person. I really feel sometimes guilty. So in the end, you are coming for a therapy to get out of that guilt as well. So we always say that think about it. If the thing or situation is not in your control, go to those people who are neutral, because sometimes being a family doesn't supports your main focus and main points, where you can just say, because if your family, like if I give you an example, if I'm having a problem with my husband and I want my father to be a mediator, so whatever my father, even as a neutral person, if he says, it will be always like, she's the father for him. That's why it's a
Of
biased
course, and he
decision,
can't be neutral bias. Yes, of course,
right?
he'll be
And same
biased.
if I goes with my in-laws as well, and if I sit my
Mm,
mother-in-law and I
mm,
said, okay, your
mm,
son did this is to me, and then she said, okay, I have this experience and
mm,
I'm giving you this
mm,
experience. Why you don't try these things? So what will be in my mind? Hmm, she's
mm,
supporting her son. That like
mm,
this is the way we perceive the thing, and that's a reality. People say no,
mm,
it's not like that, but reality is this. That's why once the family try to be a mediator, it always create a fuss and it fuel up more.
mm.
At the same time,
Yes,
if
of
you bring your friends or then anybody who is outside of the house who really doesn't know how the family dynamics works, they also create some fuss as well because they are bringing their own experiences that how the couple look
yes,
like.
of course.
Then they're creating those example in front of you and you are not that person. Your family is even not
Mm,
like that. So you see,
mm,
like these people who are not eligible to create that kind of a communication for you
mm,
guys always creates a problem. So as a therapist or as a coaches, we help people to first understand themselves, what's happening with
mm,
you. Then we bring the couple in the case, like, okay, now tell me what happened. And you know what's the result come up in the end? Most of the time, people are having the frequency issue. The frequency is always communication. Either
yes.
I'm expecting this and my partner is standing here. Either I'm
Mm,
expecting this much and my partner's here. Like if I give you an example, the woman is
mm,
expecting the husband should do everything for her and everything. And then the husband expects back that, okay, she give me time, she spends the things with
mm,
me, she look beautiful when I come home. But the wife is saying, oh, I'm a housemaker. So I get tired by the
mm,
time he come back. I don't have time for him. Now we have a kids as well. I'm busy, 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 busy. So these are the things I can't do it. Okay. So what's a middle way
mm,
where you both can come and cooperate with each other in such way? Okay, if he
mm,
come back from the work and he can help me out in a little bit in a house course, so might be I
mm,
can have a little rest and we can spend time together. Frequency match.
mm,
There is always some way where you need to work, but it's totally depending on the couple that they really want to do
mm,
work or they really want to
mm,
create the problem. Because problems
mm,
and solutions came together. It's never only the one sided. It's like there is a coin which is
mhm.
having both sides. What's your way?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Everything happens in duality, as they say. So, when it comes to everyday stressors, like, the work stresses and everyday life stresses, children going to school and a lot going on, do you have any tips as a relationship coach that the way they can sort of create more balance and a more the secret sauce to the healthy relationship, like
Okay.
2 3 things that you tips that you would like to give.
Okay, see, most of the problems are coming from a three pillar of a relationship. That those three pillars
Mm-hmm.
are trust, number one, number two is
Mm-hmm.
respect, and then number three is intimacy. If any of these points are not fulfilled, you will see either a man or woman will be having an issue. And most
Mm-hmm.
of the time, we either ignore the intimacy part, and that's where the cheating comes up, or either we disrespectful our partner in front of people, or sometimes even in the house where the person feels shut down and they stop communicating with you in such way. Then comes
Mm-hmm.
the trust. If your husband is going outside and working and you have a doubt on that person, then it's really hard for you to move forward. Then it will be
Mm-hmm.
always like you will be panicking when he's coming late. If he's trying to go on the weekend, then you will be having a doubt on him. You will be creating a problem in your own relationship. The same time, if your partner is giving you that space, that live your life, do the things, then make sure that you are aligning your routine in proper way. You're not bringing the work stress to the home because your manager was
Mm-hmm.
angry on you. So now you're angry on your wife because
Yes.
she's the one now who is listening to you. At the same time,
Yes.
once you shouted on your wife, now your wife is angry and now she will be shouting on the kids. So you see,
Yes,
it's a
it's a
cycle.
vicious cycle. Yes.
It's a cycle. And in the end, when the
Mm-hmm.
kids are watching this kind of environment, so what you are teaching to them? That just dump your buckets on each other. That's all. There is nothing to break the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we always
Yes.
say that either if you see the man is or the woman after coming from the work is a little bit stressful or something, start with how was your day? To understand what happened
Mm-hmm.
outside of the house instead of just saying telling them what needs to be done now, because we are really eager to tell what needs to be done now. Oh, the grocery is finished.
Exactly.
You need to go and do the grocery.
Absolutely.
The bread is finished. Let's go. Oh, the kid is sick. Let's go for the hospital. You
Hmm.
don't even wait for a time where you need to ask the person, how was your day? What happened in your life today? And that's one of the problem where I've just seen the people really fight or clash back,
Yes.
because
Hmm.
sometimes it happened like you just had a fight and you create that perception in your mind that, oh, he's rude, he's this, he's that. And once we have that counseling session, he told me that, oh, I came home and I just had an accident, and my wife didn't even ask a water or something, what happened, why I'm angry, or what happened to me. She starts shouting at me because of something I didn't do in the morning.
Hmm.
So that fight
Yes.
was just for,
Uh,
just like a burner, and it just
so
become like on
that's
that
a
way.
very important point, Nighat.
Yeah,
That's I think we should highlight this more, that sometimes we don't communicate things as we feel them.
yeah,
We just let it all build up, and then we're having all of a sudden we're acting like erupted volcano, and
yeah.
the other person is at a loss, that what happened to this person. So
This is the
we
way, like
should.
I'm
Yes.
expecting someone to come, and I just want to tell what was my planning for today, or what happened today, and suddenly that guy enter in the house with the bad face and just like throwing the things, and you will be like, what happened? I didn't do anything, I didn't said anything. And now you're just observing the guy instead of asking him what happened, or instead of he's telling you what happened, you guys both are like just creating the picture in your mind. So this is why I always say, at least start meeting each other with asking, how was your day? So you know what happened today and how conscious you should be. So might be the things you want to put on the table today can be ignored for the agenda and can be utilized in the next day.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So timely communication of of a grievance as well. So you don't let it build into something, and actually uh, turn um, slightly bad situation into a worse kind of situation. So it's better to communicate timely, and to
yeah,
communicate in a better way, like start with hello, how are you, how was your day. And you're
yeah,
so right, we're so focused on getting the work done, or being very task or goal oriented, that we don't
yeah,
stop and ask these things, and we're not
yeah,
mindful
that's
of the
true.
moment. Yes. So so any other thing that you come across, Nighat, and you would like to share, which can really help people,
Yeah,
in their relationships? And as you mentioned very rightly, that we don't realize that sometimes due to our feuds, how our children are getting affected, and they are absorbing negativity. So it's like
yeah.
a vicious cycle in negative environment. So when two people are there, how does one break the cycle?
See, I will tell you one thing. We need to understand one most common thing, that's the family dynamics. Even if you are from the same religion, first I will start with the religious thing. Every religion say one thing, that men and women makes a flash. That means they both are like a one unit. So whatever is
Hmm.
coming in future, the vision, the agendas, the future goals, it's together, right? And if you are insulting your partner, if somebody is insulting your partner, that means somebody's trying to throw something on your clothes, which is for like both of you. You are like one unit at the moment. At the same time, if you enjoy that thing, that gonna be a kind of a burner in your relationship, because you allow the people to create that kind of backbiting in your relationship. So these things we should
Hmm.
avoid once we are going outside, or even sometimes once you're talking
Hmm.
to your family as well. The family dynamics
Hmm.
also work in such way. Even if you are married to your cousin, you have seen one thing, that your uncle and auntie are different from each other. They came from different families. Like you have seen, oh, in my family, this is not a tradition. In my family, that's not a tradition. So that's the way we are grown up. Some people have seen a couple living together really nicely, where the
Hmm.
woman is just a housemaker and the man is always a breadwinner. So the woman doesn't need to work. Now, if you marry to a man from that family, he will be always protective. He will be always like the woman should be pampered, she should be at home, she should be just taking care of the family, she should enjoy the family. But at the same time, if you're married with a woman who is coming from a family where the men and women work, they run the house, they take care of the family, they take the responsibility, they have the equality in the family, it brings an issue. And if you want to create that kind of relationship between each other, then you need to create your own dynamics. Instead of putting the dynamics you're bringing from the family, that my parent used to do this or my used to do that, so
Yes.
I need to do this. No, then you need to understand what are the new rules you can create, because those rules will be followed by your generation. So that's a kind of a thing which is called the family constellation as well, which is like from family to family it's coming to you.
Yes,
But
generational, yes.
yeah, but even I have just seen the people who have married to their own cousins as well have sensed the same thing, that the person and their family dynamics are different. So you need to understand what your partner is bringing in the relationship and what are their expectations. The same time, if you have that career oriented life and you want to pursue that, like I have seen people who are doctor, who are having kids as well, who are taking care of the home, and the same time the house is run by a maid as well. So these are the things we need to understand, that if a family dynamics is like that, they accept the woman freedom. And if the family dynamics are not that, so they want the woman to enjoy the life, be the way that housemakers are, see the world differently instead of taking the stress of the financial as well. So these are the problems which is like literally small things, but these create a long fuss. And even sometime after having a relationship of 9-10 years, people move out saying that we want divorce, because they never have that communication channel or that frequency level which matched. It's just like a recipe, right? If you put a lot of salt, it will be a kind of a bitter taste. If you put a lot of spice, it will be like you won't able to eat it. In the same way, it needs to be in that way where the taste is really with nice aroma, and it's a wonderful dish to eat, so you can enjoy it. So that's the way the whole thing is. So to make sure the dynamics are came into such platform where the people meet each other in such way where they understand. Because if you don't have understanding, if you don't have a consent for each other, if you don't have that communication channel, you will be ending up saying that she is bad or he is bad, or he doesn't understand me or she doesn't understand me. And then comes the problem from, oh, his mother said this to him, that's why he behaving like this. Or his mother make him like a baby boy, so he's always focusing on what the mummy says. But reality is this, that he have seen his father even doing the same thing. So that's the family dynamics. And they respect their mothers like that. But if you have just seen where the parents as a mother and father take decision together, then you need to tell this person and make that understanding, and then create new rules. That's not an hard and fast rules.
Yes, that is a beautiful thing that you've said, Nighat, and I totally agree with that. That we should, once we enter into a relationship, we should try to start it from a neutral note instead of bringing the generational and the family biases that we bring from our own families, that family backgrounds that we come from. So, and when we start from a neutral note, and then we make shared goals and a shared vision for the future, I think life can be much more peaceful, and we can have much more healthier relationships. So that's wonderfully highlighted, and thank you so much, Nighat, for sharing your insights, and these were some wonderful tips. On a parting note, would you like to add something to this?
I guess I have already spiced up a lot.
Yes.
People can now understand what the family dynamics
Yes,
is.
I think the secret sauce is balance, right?
Yeah. It's a balancement.
Yes.
The main thing is, see, the balancement come when you understand your person. If you have seen, once we had the elders with us and we were not married, what they used to say? They used to say, you need to understand a person and his family to be a part of their family. That was I've heard from my elders, and that's what I read when I was learning about how the couple works, how relationship work. And it's, you will be like really amazed to understand. And these theories which I'm telling you, it's not just an Eastern theory, these are Western theories as well.
Yes, of course.
So it's a merger where a family
Humans.
dynamics really works.
Yes, yes.
And that's strange for me when I was even starting doing these things with the couples who were really at the verge to go for amicable divorces. Like, I want to sign a divorce paper and want to get rid of it. So I used to ask that, okay, can you have one person, still one person, to give a chance, and let's try one person only. And we started, and then they suddenly realized that this person is not that bad, but I was thinking we have one kind of a common word nowadays that's called narcissist. My partner shows me
Yes.
narcissist trait. My boss is narcissist. People doesn't know what the narcissists look like and why narcissists become like this. There is a theory behind him as well. There's a family behind him as well. There is the problem of the environment behind him which make him like this. But it's way where a person can break this vicious cycle. Do you want him to just get out of your relationship because of this? But what about your kid? He's still watching him as a father. He's still watching him as an ideal person. He won't never get rid of these things where you say the person is narcissist.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
the way I always end the session, basically, that please try to understand each other. There are dynamics of families which you need to understand if you want to have that healthy relationship. Teasing, blaming, and using bad mouth on each other is just
Yes,
disrespect.
labeling. Yes.
Yeah, and you will end up by having the disrespect from the other partner as well, because one day he or she will be having that volcano eruption, and then you will be realizing what happened, that, oh, my words were really hurting. Your words can create a heaven and your words can create a hell as well. So it's totally up to you how you
Yes.
want to utilize.
Yes, that's, I think that's so rightly said that your words can create heaven or they can create hell. So we
Yeah,
should be mindful of our communication, what we say. We can really end up building it into a great relationship through our words, or we can just, run to the courtroom for a divorce.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's
thank you
totally
so
like
much.
your way or highway, or nowadays your way or the court way. So it's totally the middle way. It's a mediator. Go for counseling. Try to give your relationship a chance with the mediators who
Chance
really know
preference, of course.
how to deal such cases. Even sometimes we got hot burning plates which we need to take care
Mm,
of it. So just go for those people. Don't run behind for
yes.
the friends and
Don't
family
rush
to fix your.
into a divorce.
Yeah,
Of course. All right. Thank you so much, Nighat, for being here and
you're
sharing
welcome.
your wonderful insights on this note. Thank you so much for those who were watching. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment box and we'll get back to you. Thank you so much. Have a
You're
lovely
welcome.
weekend for you, I think, Nighat.
Yeah. It's Thursday,
Yes, so
tomorrow
have
is weekend starting. Yeah.
so
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
okay.
Thank you. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you. Bye bye.